Hey guys, we've got a 30-minute splits routine for our floor drill this year. Feel free to use a yoga mat like I've got. You might even find it useful to have some blankets or a pillow just to keep yourself comfortable. But just listen to your body and enjoy. We'll start by standing up and really face the same direction. So we are not getting confused, especially me, not getting confused with the straight in front. We start by spreading the toes nice and wide, feet hip width apart. We'll bend the knees, lengthen the tailbone down, and then stand up nice and straight. You should feel your abs nice and active here. From here, we'll peel off onto the right leg, lift up the left leg to 90 degrees, and we'll rotate, flexing the foot nicely outwards for 10. And foot comes down, other side. See if you can keep pulling up through this standing leg. And we'll swap sides again. Keep pulling through and lengthening through that tailbone so you've got nice active abs. This time we'll point and rotate inwards for 10. And other side, reset, and point and rotate. Fantastic. From here we'll come to the edge of your mat or your space that you might be using and step your right leg back about just over 1 meter apart and your right toes turned in about 45 degrees, so similar to the direction that your hips are going in. And then float the arms up to parallel, drop the shoulders down. Nice even hips in the center of this triangle. Take a breath into the belly all the way down. As you exhale, reach over that left hip, keeping that front leg as straight as possible and fold over to your triangle. Option 2, keep this left arm on the thigh or the shin or ankle, or you can float it for a bit more of an active stretch. As you breathe in, open to the front, open towards the TV, towards me. And as you exhale, see if you can push through the edges of all edges of the feet. So especially that back foot might want to bend or come off, but push through to get nice stable bottom, a stable base. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, turn the head down to look at that foot and push back up. From here, we will be bending the right knee, so you might need to take a bigger step forward. But from here again, we'll float up to breathe in. And then as you exhale, bend through that front knee, keeping the hips moving evenly into this lunge position, warrior 2 position. Keep breathing in. And then every time you breathe out, see if you can go a little bit further into your lunge position. Drawing in through the lower abs and lower ribs. One more breath in. And out. Keep it steady, you can do it. And then flip that front palm up towards the ceiling and then back a little bit further to stretch through this column of the body. Alright, from here we'll cartwheel over, pivot on that back foot to come into our high lunge position. Straight away we'll take the palms to the waist and pull the body up, drawing that left hip socket back and the right one forward, so nice and even and squared off. From here we'll inhale to bend the back knee and lengthen the tailbone down, feel the abs activate again. And then as you exhale, push through the heel to straighten a nice strong quad, straightens through that knee. Breathe in, lengthen down. And then breathe out. One more time. And out. This time as you start to breathe in, we'll take the arms up to reach above us. As we do, lower the shoulder blades away from the ears and draw in the lower ribs because we want to open up usually when we lift our arms above our head. But draw in, so we'll start that again, breath in and bend the back knee. And then as you exhale, push through. From here, we'll just take one big breath in, float the arms back and down. This time your right palm comes to the inside of the left leg and the left arm continues up to an open twist towards probably the back of your room. Yep, that would be back of the room for you. One more breath in. And float the arm down. Place that palm on the outside of your leg and then pick up your left hip to go into our upside down V position. Keep trying to draw that left hip socket back So you're not opened up to the side of the room, but nice and even. So a good way to see that is that both palms have the weight of your body nice and evenly in this position. Keep breathing in as you do. And every time you breathe out, see if you can inch that back heel towards the ground. So we're not pushing, but just finding a bit of length with your breath in and out. Option as well to flex this front foot for a bit more of an active stretch, but keep this front leg bent so we're never locked into the joint, but bent so that we're engaging the muscles in the back of the leg in this position. Keep breathing, one more breath in and out. And then roll through the front foot, lower the back knee, and then bring your hands to the hips and come back up. Option to come to the top of that foot here, or you can leave it this way, whatever's more comfortable for your knee. You can grab your blankets or pillow if you need to under this knee if it's a little bit uncomfortable. But from here, we'll square through the hips and then push nice and evenly through. Keep breathing in and out. I know I'm the breath Nazi at the moment, but that is something that's going to help us get length into our muscles, because it needs the oxygen to lengthen and keep strengthening in that length as well, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, because I didn't explain it very well. Anyway, from here we'll take our hips back nice and evenly for our runner's lunge. Again, weight is nice and even on both palms, so if you're finding that you're more so this way, then come back up a little bit further and bend that knee even, I guess, to a 90 degree if you need to, and then work from there. Another way to think about it is try to get your belly to make contact with your thigh as you pull that left hip socket back. Might drop your head if you're going down a little bit further. One more big breath in. And as you come out, lift your head. And we'll take palms on the inside of the leg. So bring your left arm on the inside of your leg and then pivot this knee so that your toes are pointing to the back of the room. From here, we'll keep a nice flexed left foot so the quads are nice and active. You may need to bend that leg just depending on how it feels inside this hip here. But then lengthen the spine, so hugging the lower ribs in. And then you have the option of coming down onto the elbows or also lengthening out for a bit more of an active stretch, so more weight is on your legs in this position. Keep that left foot nice and flexed. And keep breathing. And now we'll play with pointing. So pointing through that left, all the way from the top of the quad. And flexing. And point. Leave your toe in a point and then sit back onto that hip. So sit back onto your right heel. And we'll flex. And point. And then bring the body back up. Come back to lunge position and we'll turn that foot out, maybe even walk it out a little bit further towards your left for our lizard stretch. So in this position, keep trying to draw through that left hip. So draw that left hip backwards and the right hip forward, so nice and even. Option to stay here or come down onto your elbows. Also, for a bit more of an active stretch, you can pick up that right knee, so go up onto your toes of the right leg. Shoulders away from the ears, nice and relaxed in the upper body. And bring your breath back to it. Nice work. Feel free to close your eyes if you need to concentrate a little bit more on the stretch, and remember to breathe so that you're lengthening those muscles. Wherever you are, you might come back up So bring that knee back down, come back up into your palms, and swing that left leg around behind you so that you're coming into a plank position. From here, we'll lift that left leg up a little bit above the ground, and now bring it out into our pigeon pose on this side. The left leg in front. You have the option from here as well to lean forward or lie forward. Again, feel free to close your eyes so you've got some concentration and ability to relax in this position, especially for that left hip, which is probably singing. I know mine is. Fantastic. From here, we'll leave the body where it is. We'll curl the right toes under to push through the quad of that right leg and straighten the leg. From here, we'll slowly come back up onto our elbows and then back up to our palms. And inch forward and back on those back toes to stretch through the hip flexors of the right leg. From here, we'll be nice and steady on the palms. Keep pushing through this right quad. Belly button comes to spine, and we'll lift up and bring that right leg back up to our lunge position. Drop the back knee, and we'll slowly move to splits on this side. So take your time. See if you can keep that hips as even as possible as you go into it, so not suddenly opening up this way. If you do need to open up, just bend the back knee instead. Okay, so if today you're not in the splits and you're up here, that's fantastic. Just keep remembering that the more we do this, the more our muscles can lengthen. But if you are coming down into the splits today, still keep working to draw in the lower ribs, close through that hip so we're sitting up into the splits nice and evenly, and point those toes. We'll stay here for a few breaths. In. And out. Now to play with what we're doing in the floor drill, I'm just going to move in this way so I've got a bit more space. We're going to lie onto our front leg. Option to bend that knee actually as we do for a little while. So lie onto your front leg, nice and evenly. A few breaths here. And then from this position, see if you can keep your right leg going straight back behind you so that when you roll over onto your left side, you can roll nice and evenly. So when you're ready, roll over and up your mat. That's cool. Right leg down, and with this left leg, bring it into the chest by flexing the foot. So nice flex foot at the top here. From here, as we exhale, on our next exhalation, we'll flex that right heel and push it into the ground to straighten. Keep it nice and flexed. And then exhale, push through to straighten the top leg. You might take a grip where is comfortable, but just be mindful of your shoulders, staying nice and far from your ears. Every breath in is an opportunity to bring oxygen to those muscles. And breath out, your belly button contracts to your spine to pull a little bit further. And because we are Physie girls, we will point the toes. And keep working with the same. Excellent. We'll slowly bend both legs. Cross over the ankle. And just rotate a little bit. Wonderful. From here, we'll take a hold of the back of the thighs and come up to our feet. Come onto your tippy toes here. And try and maintain contact with your belly to your thighs. And roll it up. Nice and slow. To standing, and we'll do all of that on the other side. Let me just adjust this. Okie doke. So from here, we'll take your left leg back, just over a metre again. Toes pointing back on the 45 degrees, and the hips also at that diagonal. Inhale, we'll float the arms up. Exhale, we'll lean over that right hip and fold to triangle. Again, you've got your options. Inhale, open the chest towards the TV. Then as you exhale, push into the edges of the feet, especially the outside edge of this left back foot. One more big breath in. Exhale, turn the head to look at the foot and push back up, nice strong legs. Again, readjust your stance. You might need to take a wider stance. Breath in. Exhale, bend through that right knee. Take your hips with you. A few breaths in and out here. Keep drawing in through the lower ribs. One more breath in. And go into a little bit further. Nice work. Breath in, flip that front palm, reach over and stretch to this side of the body. Stay here, one more breath in. As you exhale, pivot on this back foot and arms come over. From here, we'll take our palms to the waist, coming up to our high lunge position. Inhale, bend through the back knee, lengthen the tailbone down. And then exhale, push through the heel, keeping the hips nice and squared. Inhale. And exhale, push. One more time. This time we'll take a breath in as we do reach our arms up, draw in through the lower ribs. Drop the tailbone. And exhale, push through to straighten the back leg. Inhale, open the chest. And coming down, left palm comes to the inside and then right palm continues to an open twist to the back. More breath in. And bring that palm on the outside of your leg. And this time take the right hip up to straighten the front leg. Or almost straighten, not locked in at any time. Keep breathing and working to drop that back heel towards the ground without pushing it. Again, option to be flexed in this front foot here for a bit more of an active stretch. We'll keep it flat, but either way, do not lock fully in the front leg. Nice even weight on both palms. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, bend through that front leg. Drop the back knee down. Palms come to the waist and then square off, bringing the right hip to be in line with the left. And evenly push through, so push through both hips. Keep breathing into those muscles. An option to be on the top of that foot if you need to. And then your next exhalation, bring both hips back nice and evenly into our runner's lunge. So keep this left hip over the left knee. and the body weight is nice and even on the palms. So you might be on the fingertips and really bent up here. Aim to get your belly to make contact with your thighs, and then walk it forward. Keep drawing back through that your right hip socket. A few breaths in and out. And from here, we'll take your right palm onto the inside and swivel on the left knee so that your left toes are pointing towards the back. Nice flexed right toes towards the ceiling. Keep turning out from that hip and keep this quad nice and active. As you do, lengthen your spine so your tailbone's pointing towards the back and the top of your head is pointing to the front. And from here, we'll take elbows down, or you've got the option to be on your palms and reach forward. Keep flexing that foot nice and hard. And we'll play with a point. And flex. Point. And flex. And point. Keep it pointed and then sit back onto the left heel. And flex. And point. And from here we'll walk the body up and come back around so that we're preparing for our lizard pose. So walk those right toes out, palms come to the inside, square the hips, shoulders away from the ears, and then the option to drop onto your elbows. You can stay here. Again, my hips on this side are a little bit tighter, so I might stay up here. And the option to pick up your back knee, by going onto your toes. Keep breathing. Wherever you are, come back up onto your palms, drop that back knee, and then take your right leg back into plank position. From here, we'll pick up the right toes and bring it into our pigeon posture. Square through the hips, sit up nice and tall, and then make your way onto your elbows, or back, or down a little bit further if that's accessible today. Few deep breaths in and out to loosen through that front hip, through the right hip. Keep relaxing through. From here, we'll keep the body where it is and go onto the toes of the back foot, back leg, and straighten that leg. Body comes up from there. Stay in this position. Keep that front foot flexed, especially if you're feeling any sensitivity in the knee, and then just inch forward and backwards. So the heel is what's driving the backwards motion. Nice and evenly on the toes. From here, we'll push through the palms, draw in the lower ribs, and then push up to bring our right knee in front of us as we inch into the splits on the other side. So again, nice and slow. So you can keep squaring these hips. And if you are sitting into the splits today, or if you're just there and you need to bend that back leg, that's totally fine too, because we'll get there. By the end of the year, we'll get there. Or by after Easter. But for now, if you are in the splits, draw in through the center. Sit up nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, and keep breathing. As you exhale, bring the body forward, bend that back knee, and fold over the front leg. If you are trying to lay on that front leg, try and reach the top of your head towards your toes so that you're not curled over, but lengthening over. From here, we'll take a hold of your leg. Again, relax your shoulders. Straighten that back leg. See if you can straighten it just under the hip, so not outwards, but under. And then roll off onto your right side. And I am lying on some nice comfy pillows again. We'll draw the top leg back. From here, we'll bend through that left leg to place it on the ground. I might just move into the mat a little bit further and move my microphone. Okay. So bend through and then bend the top knee. So bring that into the chest. Take a hold of the back of the leg and flex that foot nice and hard. Your next breath in and out. Straighten through by pushing that heel into the ground, keeping it flexed, the quads are nice and active. And then each breath cycles an option to lengthen the muscles, especially straightening a little bit further on the exhalations. Starting to feel a shake in my legs. Hopefully you are too. Or hopefully not. But we'll play with a bit of a point and pull it back. So option to move the arms along the leg wherever is comfortable. Try and pull it straight back over you. And then bend both legs to loosen through that right hip. Alright, from here, take a hold of the back of the thighs and we'll roll again up onto this little squat position. This time you can have the fingertips on the mat or you can take a hold of the back of the legs. Try and maintain this contact of belly to thighs and we'll start to straighten into a forward fold. And then sit into it a little bit further. Roll it up. And we're ready to go. Thanks guys, hope you enjoyed.